Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
Psych, I'm back.
I was like, wait a second, we lost Trey.
Back.
We missed you, man.
Yeah, it was great listening to you guys try to give me crap about my bathing suit choices at the beach. Solid 7.5 inch inseam though, TJ. Or shall I say Rico Suave? Look at that hair. Back again. My guy's clean shaven. He's got the light hold pomade rocking.
No, this is actually just water today.
TJ, did you have like some kind of like meeting with Uncle Fred today that you needed to clean shave for? What's going on?
No, man, I shaved last week. You can see there's stubble in there now. It's from last week.
Wow.
Just sometimes you got to freshen it up, just really switch it up, shave it down a little bit, start over.
Did you go bare shave all the way down?
No, I have like a little guard thing I put on it, but it's basically it's not a smooth shave, but it's as bald as it can get without a smooth shave.
Been a long time since I went bald all the way. Do the same thing. Guard it down to a 1, and then just go from there. Timothy, it's damn good to be back. What'd you drink last week?
I had I'm gonna go blank on that beer, Kenneth.
Goldfinger.
That is not.
No,
right.
That's what we're getting.
No, it's a Goldfinger.
No, man, it was Gold Crest 51.
That's what it was. Goldcrest. Goldfinger's from
51.
Austin Powers, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Smoking a
Today
pancake.
Is Memphis made
cigar and a flapjack.
Bonga blimp. Can you see this? Is it backwards?
Yeah, Colonial Aggression. I'm going to be honest with you. The extra special bitter ale sounds horrendous.
No, man. ESP is actually pretty common. There's a couple in Memphis that people really like.
You can read minds?
I can.
It's not bad, though. And I don't know if I've ever had a ESP. It's fairly light. Really? This almost looks like Natty Light.
I guess I could see that. It is especially bitter.
If you guys are tuning in this week and you listened last week, feel free to, you might hear some echoing because there's some things that have happened that I didn't get a chance to talk about. So we're going to talk about some of those things. But first, let me catch you up, update you on one of our episodes in March. I'd have to rely on Kenny for what number. Came in one evening and got a cell phone ticket on the way to the studio. I went to court today to get that resolved. Timothy and Kenneth both did not think that was going to pay dividends and thought it was a waste of time. And let me tell you, that bad boy was dismissed. All because I went downtown.
That's not true. That is absolutely not true. It did not get dismissed because you went downtown. It got dismissed because you have to go to class.
It's an online class and it's fine. But that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone downtown and I would have just paid it. I would have 3 points on my record. My insurance premiums would spike. Timothy, you don't know about the point system? You only get 12 points in a calendar year. If you get 12 points, your license is revoked.
Wow.
The more points you have, the higher
a lot more points.
No, but if you have points on your record, your insurance premiums can go up.
Okay.
Or your insurance can drop you.
So I'm keeping that point total at 0 after this online course. I will also say, I walked in. It was a 1:30 court time. Walked in 5 minutes early. Room was already filled. I mean, there were probably 30 people in there already. Sheriff that's on duty calls me to the front, looks at my ticket. He just laughs. He said, "Man, they really got you guys with these cell phone tickets." So I sit down. I'm like, "Wait, are you guys in here for cell phone tickets?" And they were all basically like, "Yeah." There was like 2 older guys that were speeding, but everybody else in there was like cell phone ticket. Unbelievable. Anyway,
would you be willing to live stream on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel you taking the class?
I don't think that anybody wants to watch that. I actually started it earlier today. Get this though. I have to go back with my printed off certificate that I completed the course. You know when they want me back?
8 a.m. Friday.
No, I'm saying like, I wish it was that, to be honest with you. November 20th. There's a large chance that I forget about that. High probability.
Away.
November 20th? Is that a joke? So much can change in 6 months. I could be a totally different person walking back in that courtroom.
Yeah.
I've taken appropriate steps, though, to rid myself of looking at my phone while I'm driving. I use that do not disturb feature now, so it automatically does it. So if you text me, you're going to get an automated message back that says I'm driving with do not disturb on. I'll text you back later.
You never told us how the wife responded to it.
Honestly, not bad at all. I really thought Natalie would like throw at my face and be like, "I told you so." And she just kind of was like, "Wow." I think it was something like it didn't shock her at all. But she's seen a change in my habits. I just drove 16 hours total to and from the beach. Didn't use my phone the whole time. Unless we were stopped at like a rest stop.
Getting a ticket in another state just seems like the worst.
Like I got one in Texas one time.
There's no that you can't do anything about it but pay that one. Like you're not going back to fight that.
No.
So Trey, tell us about the beach vacation, man. What was your favorite part about being at the beach?
Vacation with a 2.5-year-old and a 4-month-old isn't really vacation.
True.
But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Weather was okay. We had a tornado warning while we were down there, which was absolutely wild. Had to get on the basement parking garage floor. Never thought that would happen while we're at the beach. Favorite part is probably just the food down there. I know TJ's a big seafood guy, but seafood down there is just it's divine.
Where were you again?
He's lying to you, by the way. I'm not a seafood guy.
TJ won't even look at seafood. We were down in Santa Rosa Beach. It's in between Panama City and Destin area. Good. Full length shorts. No banana hammocks here.
I was almost 100% certain you were
Gabe in the Caribbean. No, that's Gabe in the Caribbean, not me. All right, Timothy. The only basketball related news I know you guys have already talked about, and quite frankly, I don't care because I'm going to talk about it. Our boy Moussa Cisse is coming home. How fired up are you?
Well, I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, we talked about this last week with Roman when he had when he guest starred on the show.
Giant that is Roman.
Yeah, 7'18", I believe Kenny said.
I'm going to try his camera angle. How do we do this?
It is impressive. No, that's not right. You got to put it at your belly button.
I can't do it. My laptop doesn't go like that.
We talked about it last week. I mean, in terms of at this point in time, who's available, you're talking about maybe your third, fourth big. I mean, I'm not sure you can get better than Moussa Cisse.
Yeah,
this is a reigning
Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. If he's been here before, he's played for Penny. He knows what Penny expects. If he's coming, he's not like demanding touches in the paint or something, running things through him. He's coming in 12, 15 minutes a night to be a defensive rim protector and catch a lob or two, get rebounds.
Yeah.
Like if he's bought into what they need him to do, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's actually the perfect fit for.
Don't hate it at all. Don't hate it at all. Especially with the scare that we had at the center position over the last week or so with our boy Dane Danger. Rumors were swirling that he might have been getting tampered with and heading to Georgetown. Ed Cooley putting in some
Georgetown overtime
hours trying to get our boy Danger out of Memphis.
I'm not really sure where that started. I think it was from Will on Twitter.
I think and then Danger straight up called him a clown. Keep his name out of your mouth. That's clown stuff.
I will say the way Danger responded was a little interesting to me. I wasn't saying like
I saw what
he was for sure gone, but like the way it was worded came off a little weird.
TJ was skeptical about that response from Danger.
Well, I think I do need to remind myself he is a 20-year-old. I don't want to say kid, but a 20-year-old young man, and he's not going to respond.
What was it he said? He said something like, I never said I'm leaving Memphis or something.
Yeah. And then he came back and was like, Memphis is in my profile, as if like that's concrete.
Well, the reason why he said that is because that was the rumor. Somebody said he's taking Memphis out of his Instagram bio.
And that he had removed pictures of him and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that was his rebuttal to people saying
I never heard that one. Okay. I guess that changes things, but
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, as far as anything else, basketball related, nothing. David Jones, he's coming back, right? I mean, everything I saw did not have a good combine. He's also literally the same exact height and weight as me, which seems ridiculous. 6'3", 210. Isn't that what he was? Or 6'3" and a half? Give him a half inch on me. That's fine.
Yeah, it does seem. Look, it's something.
Why are we listing him at 6'6"?
Well, I think they always do that, right? He puts on some shoes. No, you put on some shoes. He probably is 6'6".
Maybe an inch.
Yes.
3.
Yes. Put on some KDs.
TJ, 3 inches is a lot.
Tell my wife.
TJ,
I'm trying to look up the picture of these KDs.
This is a children's show.
This is a family-driven show here.
No wonder TJ can fit into 5-inch inseams. He's got 2 inches to spare.
I have never worn a 5-inch inseam short in my life. Trey is the soccer player, so he has definitely worn these short shorts. I was trying to find a picture. I'm pretty sure it's the KDs. One of the two. They have a pretty good lift on them.
Like Hoka?
Like I could see.
Hoka-esque lift?
Yeah, like a Hoka lift. Exactly, like a Bondi.
Bondis.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the LeBrons. I don't think the Paul Georges are pretty standard.
Isn't there a new KD? Well, we got more basketball news than we thought about. There's a new KD Penny edition, isn't there? That's coming out. Don't let me. Yeah,
I know it's KD 14.
The KD 17 pennies were announced on the 10th. I think it looks like coming out later this month.
Okay.
What'd y'all think about this? What'd you think about them?
I kind of like them. I'm looking at them right now. I like them. You don't like those?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
No, not at all. I'll tell you why. Because back in my younger days, I worked at.
I mean, somebody on the team is going to be wearing these this year for sure. What?
Yeah, my younger days, I worked at Finish Line. I was an assistant.
You wore the referee shirt?
Nope, that's Foot Locker, you clown.
They're the same place, to be honest.
No, they're not. No, they're not, because we didn't wear.
Which one did you work
jerseys. What? I worked at.
I said I know, but like which Finish Line?
Oh, Oak Court for a little bit. Only
did you
for
just
like a
say
week
you were
or two.
a regional manager?
No, assistant manager.
Assistant to the manager?
No, I ran the stock. I ran the stock in the back. Wolf Chase was my home store, but I did work at Oak Court for a little bit. But they remind me of Nike Tailwinds, which I thought were an atrocious shoe back then, and everyone loved them, and they kind of look the same to me. So
I'm looking up to. I'm not like a big sneaker. Yeah, they do.
I
see. I found a red one.
It's not good.
I see what you're saying.
I'm surprised you like this. Anyway, yeah, I think if he puts on a pair of shoes, I could see him getting the lift. Maybe it's 6'5" and a quarter, and they're like, nah, 6'6", and they just rounded him up. But I think we always knew the measurables were going to come back as off, right? They were always going to be off. They always are, right? So
that seemed dramatic to me. I don't know, Kenny. What did you think about that? 3 inches?
I've stood next to DJ, and
you tower over him like you do me.
I could tell. I could have told you he wasn't 6'6". But
that honestly makes his rebounding numbers even that much more impressive. Doesn't it?
I mean, Josh Hart is the same way, right? Like Josh is probably 6'2", 6'3". He ain't no 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
But rebounding is it just shows you
it is.
If you're a big that's not rebounding, it's not because it's anything other than you don't give a shit. So
yeah, there's a little bit of skill to it, like watching the ball and kind of anticipating where it's coming off, and then there's obviously the effort part of it as well, positioning. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting that came out. And then, I mean, he's got until the end of the month, right? So like 11 days to pull out.
May 29th. That's the date.
Yeah. So he's got 9 days to pull out.
Can I just tell you, TJ's mind is in the gutter. He's in the gutter.
That's a long time to be able to pull out.
Do you trust the pull out? Do you trust a pull out?
What
I think DJ's pull-out game is strong.
No, it's not. Clearly.
He's pulling out of the draft.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Lester's pull-out game wasn't strong.
Was not. Very weak.
Yeah.
What is going on?
You started this, Rico. What is over your left shoulder right now?
Is that a teddy bear?
Yeah, it's a chair. It's Julian's chair. Oh, wait, it's been this way.
I was going to ask if it was a chair. What is going on?
I don't know how to make it
so ass backwards.
Well, my camera's flipped, and I have the setting on to flip my camera, so I'm extra flipped. So now I'm real confused.
This is
I'm pointing over my left shoulder right now, but on my
over your right
is my right. So that is not the direction of the chair. It's just very confusing. It is a bear chair, though.
And I am offended for Julian. I'm offended for Julian that you're making fun of his chair, Trey.
I'm not making fun of it. I just asked what it was. I thought it was a chair.
It's a 2-year-old, you clown.
Julian and I are tight.
You and Julian are tight. A very sweet moment of Trey and Julian running around on the football field together.
We race a lot. He likes to cheat, though. Julian takes off early, and it's not fair.
That's about right.
I don't even know where we're at.
Moussa. We were wrapping up on Moussa, talking about David Jones. He's coming back, more than likely. Presumably, David Jones will be back.
How many spots does that leave it? We still have 3 to fill. Is that right? My quick math doing that?
Yeah, which is interesting because that means you have from June until, I know Penny said he wanted the whole team pretty much assembled by July?
He said by
June.
He said by session 1, which is June. Like he wants it done in the next week and a half.
He said most of the team will be here by June.
It doesn't mean he's going to have the whole team assembled.
And I would suspect that most of the guys that will be coming in are the guys that'll get playing time. I wouldn't suspect that he's going to fill the last 3 spots with any major players.
Yeah.
Have you guys did you guys create any sausage last week?
No sausage was made.
You know where we're at with Moussa added?
I don't remember where we were last. 30 or 40 or something?
I think it was.
I think if you add Moussa, it's probably like 35. That can make up a number there. 28.
28. But that includes Ryan Forrest, who is strangely still on.
I need to reach out to him and back. Can you
still on our sausage? So, anyway, hey, with that, let's take a break. But when we come back, we got a lot of football talk. Timothy, we got portal talk. We got best G5 talk. We got ESPN College Football 25 talk. We'll be right back.
We've been applauding this. Going to continue to applaud what Ryan Silverfield and the staff are doing in the transfer portal. They added a huge addition in former Tennessee linebacker Elijah Herring. When you pair him with Chandler Martin, like you look at this linebacking core, those 2 guys and Elijah Herring and Chandler Martin, I think you have 2 guys that are not even really arguably in the top 5 for best defensive players in the conference. It just in your linebacking core.
You have the best linebacking core in the conference by
Yeah.
a pretty landslide amount.
Yeah. Or
well,
none.
So this influx of money, the positive momentum under this program with Ryan, this is working in the correct direction.
They don't put together a recruiting class like this or a transfer portal class like this any other year, and they're continuing to make these additions in real time. And I think they're top 50 or top 45 right now.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The Grizzlies, number nine in the NBA draft. They're picking 9th, 39th, and 57. Who they getting with those three? Go.
A veteran from around the league.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. If there's something that they could do with that 9th pick that gets them someone that's already proven, then yeah, because I don't even know who would be thought of as being the 9th best player that's coming out at this point. I have no idea who that person would be, but I know this team, in terms of for moving forward, you think of, in terms of winning a championship, still young enough, and you still want some pieces that are able to help you win right now, not just continue to amass for the future. For the future is right now for this team.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Boom. TJ, did you see Scotty Scheffler get arrested this weekend?
I did see that. I thought that was one of the more baffling things I think I've ever seen before. In my life.
How wild for him to get arrested, go to prison, and then still shoot 5 under that day.
I am awful at golf, so 5 under seems pretty
Let me
good.
tell you, that's real good, even on a day you didn't go to prison.
I'll tell you what, that
I
happens
would do a
so
lot of
quickly.
things to be able to shoot 5 under.
They took that man to jail so quickly, and they took him out of his clothes and threw him in the orange jumpsuit to take that picture.
Faster than hell.
Yeah, like within 30 minutes of that whole process.
You want to know what's
happening. It was
even more
mind-boggling.
impressive speed-wise? Is the gentleman who was at the tournament that day with the T-shirt that had his mugshot in the orange
I saw
jumpsuit
that.
on it. How fast are you getting T-shirts made?
I think you got to have your own print.
You
I
have
got-
to.
I think you got to have that. Just
You have
queued
to.
up at your house.
I mean, there's no way. You're a big T-shirt guy. You make T-shirts.
I am.
You've made me a T-shirt or two. That's
Several years in
that's
a row.
quick stuff. That's quick. Timothy, portal wise, we have been active. Ryan Silverfield and crew have been active.
Yep.
We rank number 9 overall in the 2024 cycle for most or largest transfer class. You know how many transfers we've had come in? This surprised me. I didn't feel like it was this many.
If I had to guess, I'd say 17.
17. See, that feels right. I was gonna like 15 feels right. 25, Timothy,
Okay.
for
I knew it was a
9
lot. It's
overall
just a
in
relative
the
term.
recruiting cycle.
Okay.
That's quite a bit. We've had 3, I think, since you and I last met. Virtually. Where do we start? I mean, I know you guys probably talked about it last week. Big linebacking addition. Elijah Herring transferring to Memphis. Led Tennessee in tackles last season. I mean, that wasn't a very good defense, but arguably the best player on a bad defense. I mean, it's pretty big. Now we have a little bit of insight, and I think, TJ, you might have kind of alluded to this last week, but it makes more sense now we know that Javante Mackie's injured. Out for the year. I think, did he say it was ACL and meniscus or something?
I definitely remember ACL.
A huge blow. I was
remember both.
very excited about Javante this season.
Sure.
I mean, obviously adding Herring kind of eases the loss of Javante a little bit with him and Chandler Martin think Gabe and Christian have said, like, you easily have the best linebacking group in the entire American, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're starting to stockpile talent together to the point where you've added 3 or 4 Power 5 defensive players off the top of my head.
I mean,
so we're not talking about just linebackers. I think there's a chance this could be one of the better, possibly the best defense in the conference. Statistically, on paper.
I feel like we've said that a few times over the last 5 or 6
Sure.
years, and it never happens.
Yeah. I'm just saying on paper,
Let's hold
I can
off.
see the argument.
But it would be real nice if that were the case. You mentioned Power 5 additions. I don't know if you technically count this as one, but local Germantown High prospect DJ Allen, who originally committed and signed and I think spent a semester. I think he was an early enrollee in January at Purdue. Former 3-star edge rusher. No relation to Jalen, but we could have another Allen coming off the edge there.
Yeah, he's an interesting one because you definitely count him as a Power 5 transfer, right? I mean, he was enrolled, right? I think he had enrolled at Purdue in January. He went spring practice offers. With them. Yeah, I mean, if you look at his 247 profile, I mean, so he's ranked the 1,500 best recruit in the nation. I think he's right around the 100 mark for the rush end type of position, but the offers: Purdue, Georgia Tech, Indiana, Iowa, Louisville, Maryland, Memphis, Mizzou, A&M, and UCF. So there's obviously talent there, right? So I wouldn't hold on to that 1,500th in the nation. I know someone will kind of point that out, but I wouldn't hold on to that because just look at the teams going after him, right? It's there's talent there. Now, is he going to be an outside linebacker? Will he be the rush off the edge? Like what position will he turn out to be? I guess we'll find out.
I mean, he will technically still be a freshman, right? Mm-hmm. Is this somebody you think comes in day one and has an opportunity to get some play at the edge?
It's
or is this more of a long-term play here, bringing the kid home, and we'll see him sophomore, junior, senior?
Yeah, it's so hard for freshmen, true freshmen, that is, to get meaningful snaps that early on. I've put my 2 cents out there that I think that it's going to be Whitlow off the edge. I think that's going to be the first guy that they're going to start there. And then they brought in some other pieces that I think they're probably going to put over Allen just because, he is, I think he's listed at 230. Now, it's not grown man 230, right? Like I think Jalen Allen, think of someone who's that large. I mean, he's a tank of a human being. That's a grown man. And Allen is just not at that size yet. Like I don't think he's there just yet.
Yeah.
But obviously, you could spend a year in the program and he could be ready next year. But we may be able to see him out there. I just think he's probably more of a linebacker than he is a D end or a rush, whatever you want to call it.
Makes sense. Sticking in the linebacker area, though, Timothy, got another portal commit out of Houston, Texas. Houston Baptist linebacker, 6 foot 225, senior Rodney Dansby. This is an FCS All-American, TJ. I don't know if you looked at this. 3 years in his career statistically. He's got over 350 total tackles. The kid's all over the football field. 17.5 tackles for a loss, 6 sacks. He's got a pick, 6 pass deflections, a forced fumble, 3 fumble recoveries. I mean, I know it's down a level, but as FCS All-American, I don't hate it. Adding a little depth to that linebacker core.
Yeah, I think what's he going to play? He is 6 foot 225. So it's another situation where that's 6 foot 225. It's not a small human by any means, but I think he's probably best suited as inside linebacker. But at 225, is he a little too small, or is that actually preferred? Because he does play with a lot of speed and a lot of sideline to sideline action. He's a thumper. That dude looks for contact. Everything I've seen about him, like he is outright aggressive and making some tackles. So I'm more excited about him than I was originally. At first, I think I kind of I teased it in the group chat and kind of mentioned that, hey, we're getting a linebacker, but like it's no one really of note. You know, I didn't mean to like disparage the name of Dansby, but it was more so a comment like, hey, don't expect another Elijah Herring this week.
Yeah.
But
He's no leading tackler off an SEC defense.
yeah,
But nonetheless, welcome, brother Dansby. You think Houston Baptist is accurate with their height, or you think Rodney's really 5'9", 225?
Ooh, it's a good question. I don't know. He's probably 6 foot. He kind of looks 6 foot.
Cleats give you more of a height advantage than basketball shoes, right? We'll have to ask our boy Haresh.
No, I don't think so.
TJ's got to. Never mind.
Don't even do it. Don't do it.
TJ, are we missing any portal transfers that have come in? Have we had any departures since we last met?
Since we last met?
I don't think we
I don't
have.
think so.
I don't think
No, I don't
anybody
think
else.
so. There's been a couple of guys. I think they've added. There's a linebacker that came over from Kaiser, which is the same college that landed the DB.
Kaiser Flores?
No. I think his name is Trey. Now you're going to make me go blank on it. He just transferred in DB 2 weeks ago now. Sounds about right. We brought in a linebacker from Kaiser. I don't think it's going to be anything of note, but that was another one we added. Kind of went under the radar.
Okay. Timothy, last week we've eclipsed the 100 days until collegiate football. ESPN released a top 10s list. One of the categories of top 10 rankings was 10 G5 teams that can make the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you the top 9. 10 was Troy, 9 was UNLV, 8 was Tulane, 7 was Miami of Ohio, 6 was James Madison. Glad to see that they're out of the 2-year no bowl situation, which is silly. 5 Appalachian State, 4 Fresno State, 3 Liberty, 2 Boise State. You want to know who's number 1? Your Tigs. Your Tigs, baby. Your Tigs. If Boise State doesn't have the most upside, Memphis does. The Tigers have experienced 2 quarterback Seth Hennigan and wide receiver duo of Rock Taylor and Demir Blankenshmere could lead a 40 points per game offense. The defense adds 10 transfers as of that date. I think it's probably 12 now. And Memphis could be favored in every single game except for week 3 trip to Tallahassee, which I cannot wait for. I am going.
I really need to look back at Boise State and kind of figure out what the love is there. A lot of people are really like,
you know what I didn't
realize?
realize?
They're going to be something special.
Genty's back.
Yeah, Genty's back, and then they added the quarterback,
Malachi Nelson
from USC. Thank you. They added him, and all of a sudden they think they're just going to be unbelievable. It's not like Green was awful. It just seems like everybody else around him wasn't really that great. I mean, he wasn't that good, but I know he wasn't that good.
Maybe not awful, but
yeah,
I mean, not great by any means. Not great by any means. I mean, it's just more pub, TJ. The closer and closer we get to the season, the more that we hear about the Tigers potentially being that G5. I mean, there's a real live opportunity for us to make a playoff run. I mean, here's another list. This is Dave Bartow from College Football Matrix. For the last decade, the G5 New Year's 6 rep has entered the season with a top 10 EOS in my G5 ranks. Here they are for the 2024 season with a playoff berth on the line. You know who the number 1 team in his EOS G5 rankings are? Yeah, it's us. It's the University of Memphis Tigers. I'm going to ask you this straight up. If we don't make the playoff, is it a bad year?
No,
with all the hype we're getting?
No, I don't, because you can't control the hype, right? There's nothing Ryan and
If
the
we
team
don't
can
make
do
the
to
American
control that hype.
Conference Championship game, is it a bad year?
That is a better question, I think, because I do think you're at the point in time now where it's kind of like
There's
the
only
same thing
one
we're saying with
correct
Penny,
answer.
right? It's the same thing we're saying with Penny. It's like it's kind of nut up or shut up at this point. Like, how long have you been here? Why haven't you been able to make it? You're not finishing top 2. I guess Penny has kind of, but you're not winning the conference, and that should be the minimal goal every season is to compete for the championship of the conference, and we just haven't been doing it. So at this point, I'm not really hard pressing to make the bid for the group of 5, because I could see us getting cheated out of that somehow, some way. There could be a team that's Coastal Carolina or James Madison, however you want to word it, that is number 17th in the nation. The Tigers are 25th, and by default, James Madison's going to get in because they're the higher ranked team.
Yeah.
And you lost to, one conference team in Florida State or something like that. And the other team went undefeated, but the strength of schedules are obviously different. So there's just a lot that could go to play there. So I'm going to draw the line at the conference championship.
I'll say it now. If we don't win the conference, if we don't make the conference championship, I think it's a disappointing year. TJ, I feel like you're leaning out of the frame intentionally so that the bear chair is in the frame.
I don't even know how to make that happen, as you noticed.
You've been doing it. Timothy, our final topic this evening. Did you watch the NCAA 25 trailer?
Yeah.
And how fired up are you?
I plan on taking a week of vacation when it
for
comes
the
out.
release.
I think so. Yeah,
a full week. How many seasons are you going to fit in that week?
I factor about 3 seasons a day.
With what?
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm pretty excited about it, man. I pre-ordered. I'm that guy. The deluxe edition, that is.
See, I would do that if it was still disc. But everything's digital now.
I think it's optional.
I think it is, but like, what are you getting
I
out of
went digital.
pre-ordering it? Are you getting something for pre-ordering it?
You get it 3 days early.
Wow.
And also, you don't want to be stuck in the situation of trying to go
May have
to
to have a
Target or wherever and
sleepover
then
at-
be sold out.
May have to have a sleepover at Teach's house. Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's
Couch
if it's digital, it's not gonna sell out. You just if you
Well, I
can't
know,
find a
but
hard copy, you download it. Anyway,
Well, that's the perk of the pre-order, is getting the digital copy like that.
the only gripe that I have is we weren't featured in the trailer, even for a split second. And you know who got an absurd amount of time in that trailer? Why was Wyoming all over the NCAA football trailer?
That's a good question. Color scheme, maybe? Just something different?
All over it. I mean, I think they had, it was a minute and a half. I think they had like 15 seconds in there. Minute 20, maybe? Just absurd.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a color
Boise,
thing
I think
because they
the
showed
G5
Boise.
teams I remember were Boise, obviously opening up with the field. Just lame. Nobody cares about the blue turf anymore. It's not 2001. Wyoming and App State. Am I missing one?
I don't know. They flashed through a lot of that real quick.
They did. There were a lot of really just split second ones. Really
making me
split
watch
second.
it right now live.
Don't watch it live. We should have done that though. I wish it had dropped tonight and we could have done a live reaction. That would have been good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think I've watched it probably 6 times now.
I still think
I
Kenny needs to mic us up for home games and then put together like sound bits from us watching the games live.
don't know if that's gonna be appropriate.
I mean, it would have to be rated appropriately, but it could be fun. Timothy, I know you noticed Notre Dame had a flash of some uniform change in there. The U of M hasn't released the details of what exactly they provided to EA Sports. Do you think that's any indication that that's because we are getting new uniforms and they don't want them released early?
Yeah, and we had kind of heard stuff about that a while back, right? When we originally released the information about in the group chat. So be a Discord member. What are we doing here? If you're not in the Discord, join.
Get in
Bluff
the
City.
Discord.
Get insiders, dude. Get to be an insider. We told you about this stuff back in January.
Promo code TJ and Trey.
Anyway, yeah, we talked about it. I think it was back in January. We mentioned, we had heard that there were rumblings about the FedEx stuff. We had talked about, hey, there's a good chance they got New Jersey's coming out, right? You got New Jersey's coming out. It's the only thing that makes sense. We've pretty much been wearing the same jersey since.
Do you think
16?
they get rid of the tiger stripes?
That's very possible.
Or just feature them less? It's not like a mainstay, like always on the shoulders.
It could be a smaller tiger stripe, I would imagine. Just like this big versus like the whole actual shoulder pad.
Yeah.
But we mentioned possible new uniforms. They've been in those uniforms for a while now. Obviously, 15 different color variations. We are # Oregon of the South. I do think that there's a reason we have not seen that data released and no one's really talked about it yet. I think it's because it's likely going to be new uniforms.
Okay. What game mode are you playing first, Dynasty or Road to Glory? Or Ultimate Team? Ultimate Team will be featured in there.
I think the first thing I will do is just play one exhibition game just to really dust the cobwebs
I
off.
saw this. I saw this on Twitter, and it made me laugh harder than it probably should have. A tweet about like, man, that first play from scrimmage on NCAA 25, like people already think, what play are you running for your first play back? It's been 10 years. Read option is number one.
Yep.
I mean, I may just have to do like halfback dive just to like get the nerves out.
No, read option. That way you get the option to give it or run it, depending on what Seth's feeling at the time. We'll see.
Who are you going to play in your exhibition? Memphis versus who?
That's a good question as well. I may randomize it. I mean, they just have that randomizer option, but I also,
I
don't know. Maybe it will pull up UAB Battle of the Bones. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Arkansas State. Oh, who's to say? That's a fun one to start off with.
TJ.
What, you started off, you just blow them out the water, dude?
State?
You just blow him out the water, get Butch fired already? One game in, he gets fired?
What do you think our stadium entrance is going to be like? You think they're going to have us running through the Tiger Head inflatable?
They're running through the Tiger Head. Yeah. I do think so.
They don't do that anymore, though.
Well, they don't know that.
If we submitted it correctly.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for this. I don't even have a system that will play the game currently, but I can't wait.
You missed App State. They are the ones
No,
playing.
I said App State.
Oh, did you?
I said Wyoming, App State, and Boise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Wyoming kicked off and App State was returning the kick.
Yeah.
Are you watching it still?
Yes. Well, I stopped. Do you count Army? Army was in there. They're in the American.
Wow. I forgot Army was in there.
Can't tell you who they're playing by any means.
It's probably Navy, right? I mean,
no, it looks like Kansas or someone like that.
What? Is it us?
No,
blue and white American Conference game.
I have a wrinkle for that. I have a wrinkle for their entrance onto the field. The Tigers, they're going to come to the Tiger Head, but the first part is going to be them behind the
wall.
Doing the cage thing.
And it's going to be Ryan screaming eyes up.
Yes. All in.
I just sent you a screen grab of it, Trey. I don't know who this is. The helmet looks purple. It's a white jersey.
Snapchat.
It's East Carolina, I bet.
Oh, it is. That's 100%. Yeah, yellow face mask. It's East Carolina.
Yeah, I just noticed the yellow face mask. That's what gave it away. The pants look blue.
Yeah.
Did I see
that?
Did I see they made rosters customizable? Because
I'm sure they did.
I thought I had heard that they weren't. That they were not going to make. I don't know. I think that's what everybody's frustration was at first, was that the rosters weren't going to be customizable. But
no, you gotta be able to go in there and edit it. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I need to be able to make people 6'6".
And make them better than what EA does. We might have already talked about this. Who's going to be our highest rated player? Seth?
We did, yeah. I think it's Seth. That seems like the easiest one to
Seth
make
or
the best
Elijah.
player.
Seth, is it going to be Seth or Chandler or Elijah?
I think it will be Seth, followed by likely
I could see Rock being up
Rock
there.
being high.
Yeah,
bet
I think
Rock's high.
Rock is
Yeah.
probably
I could see
second
Mario.
highest.
I could see Mario being up there.
Yeah, I think Mario's going to get some disrespect. I think he's going to be like an 82.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think Caden Costa could be up there, like sneaky high. Because kickers just always find a way to.
I know. I
sneak
feel
in
like
there.
that happens all the time. Either your punter or kicker's your highest rated player.
I'm just
Speaking of-
curious to look at the maiden speed. That's what I need to know.
Speaking of ratings, Timothy, what are your feelings on this Colonial aggression bitterness?
Well, it's a Memphis-made can, so not great.
Can
Like
we
we're
already
not-
know?
we're not picky, right? Like you guys see this. This is not a good can.
It's just not.
It's the same thing every time.
I'll give them the colors because it's America.
America.
I like this more than I thought I was going to based on the bitter. It's not my favorite though. I've said it before. I probably needed it to be colder. We spend too much damn time pre-show chatting it up. I'm upstairs in our converted attic room. That's a playroom now. It's a little toasty in here. My beer got a little bit warm. I need it to be ice cold. I mean, it's good. I wouldn't. I think I could drink two of these back to back. I wouldn't do it tonight. I've got a horrible malt left over in my mouth. That's just making me not want another one. I need to go eat some like Tostitos and Arbos or something to get this out. But I would drink this again. Like if I came over and you tossed me a Colonial, I wouldn't throw it back to you. 6.9.
Okay, 6
on the beer scale. Can is this? It's atrocious. 4-1. I mean, I'm tired of Memphis Made's cans. Freaking, I feel like they just got lazy.
I am the other end of the spectrum here. Well, not really, I guess, but we talked about the cans. They're not great. 4.1 is probably a little rude.
No,
all things considered. A 5. I'll say it's a 5 flat on the can. I know I'm not much higher than you after just saying a 4.1 was rude. I'll say it's a 5. I didn't love the beer. I don't love ESBs, honestly, and just something about them. It's definitely the aftertaste that we're talking about. I don't love them. Maybe a 5.8 on the beer. If you like ESB, you'll probably like it. I don't know. It's just not for me.
Did you finish it?
Not for me. Yeah.
5.8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to be respectful. But, like,
wow.
Got to
That
give it a
caught
chance.
me off guard.
You got to give it a chance, That's all he wants.
You got to. Well, Timothy, Kenneth, it was a pleasure being back with you, gentlemen. I hope that all of you listeners have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
I need confirmation. I need confirmation before we go.
What?
I've heard rumors and reports you might be wearing a banana hammock right now.
Me?
Stand up.
I didn't say anything.
Hooping shorts.
There we go. Never mind.
I mean,
False-
you don't know what's under these
false
hooping
news.
shorts.
It's a good point.
I don't think I've ever even. Well, that's not true. I used to wear as a wee tot. I used to wear whitey tighties. Those are banana hammocky.
Yeah.
Anyway, come back next week with your banana hammock, your cold beer, and stay for our hot takes. Deuce.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.